page, come on here, crushbackpain.com. We're going to talk again about what causes lower back pain. This is a big question people have. What's causing my pain? Why do I have lower back pain? And as mentioned in previous videos, we always focus on the tissue. Instead of focusing on the tissue, the disc, the joint, the muscle, the nerve, we need to focus on what makes that tissue painful, because that's the real cause. One of the things that causes lower back pain, that causes tissue irritation and pain, is sitting and twisting. If you have a desk job, you're at a desk and you have a computer, which a lot of people do, and you're sitting, and a lot of times, people aren't going to stay like this. Eventually you start to kind of slouch, and you sit and you turn a lot throughout the day, even if it's just a little bit. Your bottom is planted, and then you're turning, and you're turning your shoulders away, and your hips are staying here. So a lot of times what happens with that is it causes irritation of the tissues in the lower back, especially repetitively, and a lot of times people twist to one side. So just for simplicity's sake, say you're seated a lot and you twist to the right to answer the phone, or to write something down, and your mouse is on that side, or whatever. But a lot of times people will twist more to one side than the other side, and then they'll get hypermobile, meaning they move too much that way. Their joints get too mobile moving in that direction, and they start to get pain, and it just never completely goes away. And it's because of that repetitive motion in a seated position. So 2 things you can do today that really help if you have a job where you sit and you tend to twist. First, determine what way you twist to most frequently. And what you can do is, when you do twist, because a lot of times you can't completely change your workstation where you're going the opposite way, or you're just comfortable going the way you go, so you want to keep it that way. When you twist, think about keeping your shoulders in line with your hips. So instead of twisting like this, and I have a stool here that rotates, and those are nice, or if you have a chair that has wheels, you can do this. So you're using the chair to twist, or the stool to twist. That way you're not getting excessive motion through your spine. So all you really need to remember is you need to figure out a way for when you twist to keep your shoulders with your hips. So instead of having your shoulders come away from your hips, you want to keep the shoulders with the hips, okay? That takes a lot of stress, strain, compression, and shear out of the lumbar spine. It's that simple. You can still do everything the same. Your workstation's set up the same, but you're here opposed to here. It makes a big difference. The other thing you can think about is twisting is even more problematic when the lumbar spine is flexed. So flexed means you're slumped, it's rounded out. So again, when you're in a seated position, you want to keep that natural curve. The natural curve of the lumbar spine is basically the curve you have when you're standing up in an upright position with good posture. We call it the lordosis. You have that natural curve. So you want to be here instead of here. Basically, you want your lumbar spine to have that natural arch instead of being rounded. And that's going to, again, put the lumbar spine in a position, we call it a neutral position, that is most healthy. So you put your lumbar spine in a neutral position, and when you go to turn, you keep the shoulders with the hips instead of dissociating the shoulders from the hips. So that's number 1. Second thing you can do if you have a desk job where you're seated for large chunks of the day is set a timer on your phone, your watch, your computer, and every 20 minutes stand up. So every 20 minutes, just literally stand up, and you can reach up for the sky, kind of lean back. I like to have people do this. Reach up each hand as high as you can. Maybe spend 30 seconds, maybe even a minute, and sit back down. What that does is it takes the spine out of that static position, and it elongates it, and it gets that natural curve back in the low back. The reason you do it every 20 minutes is because after 20 minutes, the lumbar spine, the tissues start to slowly stretch. So we're standing up before that starts to happen and not letting it happen. So if you have a desk job where you turn a lot, keep the shoulders with the hips when you turn. Get a chair or a stool that can turn so you don't have to turn your back. And then every 20 minutes, stand up tall, and reach for the ceiling, and then sit back down. They're called micro breaks. These 2 things seem really simple. They don't seem like much, but they make a big difference with lower back pain because they allow the tissues in the lower back to heal and not continually be stressed, strained, inflamed, so they cause pain. The key to long-term, lasting lower back pain relief is getting the tissues to heal so they're not painful. And what these two strategies do is they allow the tissues to heal, and that's key. So incorporate these into your day right now. Start today and be consistent. You'll notice a change in a week, 2 weeks. You'll notice less lower back pain. If this video helped you, if you like it, leave me a thumbs up below, leave a comment. If you have any questions, anything you want to know about lower back pain, leave me a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions here on the Crush Back Pain YouTube channel.